Hello and welcome to another episode of Let's Drink About It. We are here getting to know industry professionals, sipping on some spirits, and having some laughs. Tonight we are joined by Antonia Lind. Antonia works at K-Bar as one of the baddest bartenders they got. Antonia can be seen jamming out to heavy metal music, but this Swedish-born woman is a lover of Star Wars, cooking, high-quality spirits, and at heart she's just a unicorn. Welcome to the show, Antonia.
Thank you. So
How
nice
are
to
you?
be. I'm good. Considering the circumstances, I'm good.
Yeah, of course. Everyone's a little bored right now, I guess.
Everything is slightly upside down.
That's fun. It changes your perspective, right?
It really does. Now more than ever, I so want to be back in a bar.
Yeah.
Be behind. Doing my thing.
Absolutely. But it's gonna I actually thought about the other day those. I haven't thought about specs in forever. And so if like when we do open up, it's gonna be so hard just to be like, how do I do this again?
Yeah. I was thinking just being behind the bar again, and since you basically being really comfortable not having other people around, and all of a sudden you're gonna be working closely, remembering how to do the pirouettes, to dance.
Yeah.
Because the rest will come back. It's like driving, but the dancing part, everyone needs to dance together.
True, very true. It's probably like riding a bike, right? You just get right back in there. It's gonna be great.
Yeah. We do Formula One driving. Like what?
Yeah, it's basically the same thing, actually. I would say.
Yeah, 0 to 100 in 2 seconds.
Absolutely. But are you all set up? Do you have all your shots? You got your beer?
I got my beer. I got my shots. I got them in order, number order, backup stuff. Yeah, I think I'm set.
All right. Well, please feel free to use the beer as a chaser at any point throughout the show, because some of these shots, I heard that you were a pretty big fan of Cash Strength. So.
Oh, nice. So I got a little nice. I haven't opened or sniffed or done anything. I wanted everything to be a little surprise.
All right. I mean, yeah, that's kind of the idea. But if you would like to open up number one.
Number one
is a lovely Barbados rum coming in at a solid 62.
Oh, we start
something nice to sort of get you up the roller coaster before we drop you.
Nice. All right.
Oh, you got a little glass and everything?
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, someone's fancy. I like it.
I'm one of those people who like to sniff my stuff.
Please, sniff away. No, that was weird. That was so weird. We'll definitely cut that out. That was strange.
You haven't even started, Logan. What's up?
I know. It's doing this is like, it's like the once a week type of thing that I kind of really get to chat with people, especially people that like I've used to know, right?
Yeah. Back in the day. But cheers to
yes,
that.
Cheers. All right. That's you don't really feel the 62 too much.
No, really.
It's really nice. Killer. I think the last time I started off George with like Ray and Nephew, and that's a really high percentage as well. But
yeah, but George is a big guy.
Yeah, he's got it. And actually, you did when did you come to Paloma? When did you do that guest shift? That was in the summertime, right? It's like in August.
It was late summer. I think it was September or something.
Maybe it was September as well.
Yeah, because it was warm, but it was not summery warm. So I think it was late August or September sometime.
Yeah, that sounds right. But
a lot of
yeah, that was that was a blast. And yeah, I mean, you crushed it as well. But if you could do a guest shift in any other bar, of course, we would love to have you back at Paloma. But if you could do a guest shift at any other bar, where would it be, and what product would you want to use in that guest shift?
Yeah, good question. I've always been curious of Berlin,
Yeah.
and I would love to guest shift at Golbet.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah,
I'm not familiar with it.
I know Andreas from there.
Mm-hmm.
We get to know each other at the Athens Bar Show,
Okay.
and he always put up these amazing pictures. And he's super creative and very knowledgeable. So I would love to do something with him. That would be amazing.
Some sort of collaboration.
Yeah, because his mind is amazing. It's yeah.
Just one of those creative thinkers.
Yeah. You know, where you never really stop talking about things because there's always a new twist of it.
Oh, that's really fun to work with people like that.
I know. It gives the meaning of learning the whole other twist.
Absolutely. When it's just like a constant, like almost like a stream of consciousness coming at you.
Yeah, right. You take everything you know and you bounce it back to someone else, and they like throw the ball back at you with a whole different kind of view of it.
Mm-hmm. Well, right on. Okay, but
not sure which product I would love to work with, but I'm thinking aquavits in general.
In general, nice, yeah.
Because
absolutely.
It's a Nordic product.
Yeah, I don't know. Is there a ton of aquavit? Like, has aquavit also gone over to Germany as well? I'm not very familiar with a lot of German bars, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, they work a lot with the Lind aquavits. So they have brand ambassadors down there that push it pretty hard with like sense of the brand and the aquavits.
Right. So
yeah, Germany has woken up to the spirit of aquavit.
Absolutely. I mean, it was a pretty big game changer, honestly. Whenever I first tried aquavit, because we don't have it in the States. I'd never actually even heard of it before I came here. And then you taste it and you're like, wow, okay, this opens up a whole other path. You know what I mean? It's a really interesting spirit.
Especially when you go between, it's like, you know, the different styles of gin, but when you go through different styles of aquavits, you have, for example, the taffel aquavits, that's like rounder, sweeter, and then you have, you know, depending on which dill you use, if you get the salty or the dried dill or fresh one, and you know, you can play around whatever, you get a different style product every time. It's
well,
still
there you go.
Same, you know?
Yeah, no, 100%. It's a really cool thing. I'm super happy that someone created it way back when.
Back in the day.
Back in the day. Yep. How you feeling? Are you ready for a little number two?
A little number two.
Yeah. So, the next shot.
The next shot.
Yes. So we're gonna kind of cross over and go over to Mexico for a little bit.
Yeah, we spicing up now, yeah.
Got a little bit of espadín for you.
You're so generous.
Absolutely. It's also like there's so much to choose from here.
Yeah, I need to stop by shopping. I was meant to do that last year, but last year was basically upside down.
Yeah.
I started working in January, and March everything closed down. I came back in June, and shit goes down in December again. I've been guest shifting at Paloma, and I've been by your place when you've been working a couple of times to try to use my days off as a, you know, walking around the bars.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, that was also the best thing about summer as well. You know, everyone was open and like it was just such nice weather.
Oh yeah.
Can't wait
I
for that warm
miss it
summer sun.
even with all the restrictions. I miss meeting people.
Yeah, of course, of course, of course. But you were able to get over to Copenhagen
Yeah,
recently, right? Yeah, that worked out.
yeah, that worked out.
Super cool. How was it
Yeah.
like crossing the border? Was it okay?
I mean, I would say it depends which time you cross,
Hmm.
because what I hear is different. But when you get off at Kastrup, it's
Hmm.
not like a police line or anything. They do random checks. And
Hmm.
if you continue by train from Kastrup and further into to Copenhagen,
Hmm.
you probably would get checked of all papers. But at Kastrup, it's still, you know, I did a test and it was negative. That was positive. That was
Oh,
negative. I was
boom.
happy crossing the border, coming back to
There you go.
Copenhagen.
There
Happy
it
girl.
is. Yeah, absolutely. It's always nice to be negative, right?
It's a good thing to be negative. Yeah.
Yes. Absolutely. Well, cheers to
All
that.
right.
Cheers to being negative.
Here's that.
All right.
Earthy.
Yeah. Oh, super nice. Mezcal Vargo, they crush
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
Making my lips happy.
Oh, but actually, speaking of going like back and forth from Sweden to Denmark, because you've been even before you worked at K-Bar, have you worked in Denmark before that, or was K-Bar like your first Danish job?
But K-Bar was my first stage.
All right. Okay. Well, then, as someone who's traveled back and forth for about a year now, what is something that Sweden has over Denmark and Denmark has over Sweden?
I must say I'm too much in love in like Denmark and Copenhagen in general.
Hmm.
I don't feel Sweden has that much to offer. I feel like a traitor. I
No,
feel
come
like
on.
a traitor. It's a lot of strict rules with
Yeah.
the no smoking ban. You're not allowed to carry beverages or buy from the bars.
Hmm.
You only have one place where you can buy stronger liquor or alcohol wine, whereas the time limits are basically Monday to Saturday, and only open to 3 o'clock on Saturdays. So
Not on Sunday?
you kind of hear my voice and like frustrations. Um, Denmark wins.
Denmark wins. Okay, fair enough. I
It's a
mean,
whole different vibe. It's a whole different vibe.
yeah, it is. It is. I mean, I've only been to Malmo once for like one specific, very short span of time, and it was all just spent in one bar. But that bar was super nice. Karof Bar, if you've ever been, it's really, really fun.
Yeah, when you guys came over to rock the boat,
Yeah,
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 I
absolutely.
remember. Yeah.
It was super cool. But I mean, that was a very specific trip to Sweden. So I didn't really see Malmo or anything like this. But you're the
I
only
mean,
Swede that I know that lives in Sweden. Every other Swede I know lives in Denmark.
that if it hadn't been for the pandemic, I would
Mhm.
be living in Copenhagen as
Right.
well.
Fair
But
enough.
it didn't kind of make sense to move and have no income or no job. You didn't know where to go, and it's actually cheaper to live in Malmö than in Copenhagen.
There you go. Yeah, I've heard that an income is pretty helpful to have.
Yeah,
Strangely
money,
enough,
capitalistic society thing.
right? Ah, man, I wish they could just print more of it. I don't know why they don't just keep printing money.
I know. I
Just
should
start
get
giving
my
it
own
out.
printer. Should get my own printer. Okay, that's illegal. Cut
That's
it
what you
out.
do. Yeah, no, even on Zoom, they're still watching. They're
Oh
somehow
yeah.
listening. If your phone's in near proximity.
Right. It's always in the near proximity.
Yeah, that's kind of fair. It was actually strange the other. the other day I like did like a totally, you know, no computer, no phone, no nothing type of like day, and like just took a little walk. But it was strange for the first maybe hour or so, I guess, because even though I'm not really into technology, and I have a few, obviously I've had so many technology problems with this show, for example, but just to be like totally disconnected, it was really freeing, but slightly slightly nerve-wracking in a way. You know what I mean? You're like, but what if someone wants to call me? And no one ever calls me. You know what I mean? And so it's
Oh,
just like
yeah.
this irrational fear, you know?
You know, the fear of missing out, the FOMO.
The FOMO, is that what it's called? The
Yeah.
FOMO? Oh,
Oh
that's a
my
weird
God, I can't
name.
believe they're younger than me and they still don't know those expressions.
Well, I'm not super hip, you know?
Fear of
I'm not
missing out is FOMO.
FOMO. That's strange.
Fear of missing out, you know.
No, I mean
Fear,
it makes sense. It just sounds funny to me. All these
it's
like
FOMO.
a lot a lot of this new slang is trippy, man. It's I don't know about
But
it.
you know YOLO, right?
Yeah, I've heard of YOLO, of course.
Okay, so give FOMO a couple more years and then next YOLO.
Can't. That's true. I guess people forgot that they only lived once because you don't really hear it a lot.
YOLO, because no one ever thinks of YOLO. You only live once. Everyone's like, yeah.
Oh, oh, Jesus, that's funny.
Yeah, Jesus Christ and his.
Oh yeah. uh, all right. Next stop on the Let's Drink About It roller coaster. Are you ready? This is a calmer stop. So you know we've
Say
gone
number
up and down.
because, you know. Oh, I don't know which glass I should pour this in.
It's Amaro. So we're kind of slowing it down now. We're gonna take a little break instead of just hitting you with like 3 or 6 hard spirits in a row.
Thank you.
You're
Because
welcome.
I actually don't drink that much anymore. So
Oh, well, it's great that you came on the show. We don't drink at all here. We're very family oriented, you know, very PG.
yeah. So what we have in the glass is apple juice.
Apple juice. There we go. Cheers. Mm.
Ooh, so what was this goodie?
As Freimeister Collective's Amaro. Oh, that's lovely.
Good one. Fruity.
Yeah, I'm big fan of Amaro.
I have such a long list. I need to get stuff from your place.
Yeah, come on down.
Need to start working on that cash building up. You know.
Yeah, it's yeah. Speaking of getting your own money printer, Jesus, could use one of those now.
I mean, with one of those, I could have, yeah, probably the densest bar with liquor ever known for a bartender.
Oh
I
man,
would do go like from ceiling to the floor covered.
just stacked.
And I know you love Lee's letter he's using for it. Yeah, so I mean, that's been on my mind for a long time doing a library stuff.
For sure.
He used it in a lot better way.
This is so cool, man. I don't even think that's just a me thing. That's just a human thing. I think anyone who sees a library, like an old school library ladder, I haven't seen one since I was like in, you know, grade school as like a, you know, little Logan.
It's a very few libraries in the world that actually has them. Because most libraries, if you live in smaller cities,
Yeah.
they only do like normal shelf heights. So
Yeah.
if you're not height, you can still reach the books on the top shelf, even with the little stepping stool.
Right. It's also probably a little dangerous to just like give people a ladder that you can ride on. Because you know that there's going to be some dumb person who just gets up there and tries to really go for it. Or like some
It's
kid
always
will get
someone
on
that has to fuck it up, right?
it. Yeah, there's always
Someone that has to fuck
there's
it
always that
up.
one guy. His name's normally Brian, and you're just like,
No, I bet it's a Karen.
A Karen. I have mixed feelings about the name Karen because I had like the best teacher I've ever had. Like she was the one, I don't know, she was just super cool. You know, she was hip and like got along with the kids. And she had these really cute dogs that we would babysit and stuff. But her name was Karen Preston. And then now, fast forward many years later, and Karen's like a, you know, it's like a stereotype. It's interesting, you know, because I can see it. I can totally understand how Karen is like a really basic name, and you know, a lot of people are probably named Karen. But then it's just it's the one Karen that you know. You know what I mean?
In Sweden, I've seen different reels and TikToks
Mm-hmm.
from Swedes they put up, and they started, instead of Karen, they started using Karin, which is like the Swedish equivalent name
Right.
of
Very similar.
Karen. So it's same amount of people that has it, you know,
Yeah.
Karin and Karen. So I feel sorry for the Karin. Sorry, Karin.
There you go.
Yeah.
But actually, speaking of social media, I've been following your social media so much because you do all this cooking on it, and it's
Yeah.
you know, you just sit there and you're just drooling over your phone, like this is so good.
Thank
But
you.
where does that all that creativity come from? Have you always been such a good cook, or like is this a new skill that you're learning now?
I always loved to cook,
Yeah.
but I did put that aside completely when I started bartending,
Hmm.
um, because you know when I started with the cocktail bartending, was about 4 years ago.
Right.
Um, I stopped doing everything that I normally did on the side, so it was like 100% like cocktails
Yeah.
going on.
Full on
Uh,
focused.
from morning to evening. That was like nothing else going on.
Hmm.
So for me, having the opportunity to kind of going back to it and take all my new knowledge, you know, working with really good chefs, tasted really nice foods, and you know, try to build the taste, different taste palettes myself.
Yeah.
Has been wonderful and therapeutic because the creativity is still in the fingers, but
Absolutely.
you can't drink that many cocktails as you make food, right? that make
Yeah.
it dangerously close to an alcoholic. So okay, work.
It's a fine line that you you have to balance.
Yes, yeah.
But that's cool because you used to work in restaurants then, right? If
Uh,
before the
yeah,
cocktails.
yeah. Because in Sweden, you're not allowed to sell alcohol without serving food.
Oh yeah, no, okay, I've heard about this. That's
Yeah.
right.
So that's the difference between Denmark and Sweden is if I would like to start a cocktail bar, I still need to serve some kind of food,
Yeah, something hot, right? It
uh,
has to be like specifically hot food.
especially hot food,
Yeah,
because it needs to be approved before you get the license. You need to send the menu to get the approval, and they look through that you follow up on this to keep your license.
right.
So working with high-end cocktails in Sweden is normally very close to good food. Maybe
Yeah,
not Michelin star, but still like keeping a high standard, because high standard goes from cocktails, food, and service. You know,
right.
the same.
It's absolutely, it's all connected. But that can be kind of nice as well, you know? I mean, having a spot where you can kind of do everything there, you know, like if you want some food or if you want some drinks or if you want some of that, you know what I mean? It's like a one-stop shop,
It's just one stop shop. Yeah, I love it. That's catchy.
right? There you go.
Logan.
Mm, here we go. Oh, there's wax in this still. Oh no, maybe
Okay.
I
Yes.
wasn't great at opening the bottle. That's that's what that means.
Yes, I guess we're doing number 4 then.
Yes. Are you ready for the next one?
I mean,
Continuing on the ride. So
yeah.
this. Let's see. Where's my list? Number four. Number four. This is Armagnac. Some Bass Armagnac.
Looking forward to tasting this.
Absolutely. This is very nice. We've had a lot of people ask for it in the shop recently, and And so we got a small little selection of it because I guess people are down to drink it again. I feel like it's normally forgotten.
I don't like that how the trends keep shifting.
Yeah, it's really interesting actually, and some of it is pretty quick. You know what I mean? Like it'll only be for like a few weeks, and you just really sell out of, I don't know, like red breast, for example, for just randomly. Like we'll have 2 or 3 days where it's just a lot of people buying red breast, and we run out of stock.
I'm curious. I'm curious to where, I mean, if we don't know as spirits guides, I like to call us, if we don't know why people want red breast or any other typical brand of spirits,
something,
where do they get the information from?
I don't know. I think they,
like, is it commercial at bowling, or is it people in a group where they're talking about it and like, you really need to get this bottle, and everyone's talking about it in Copenhagen because they're coming to Europe, like, what happening?
I like that theory. I think it's definitely some sort of coup type of thing. They meet up like every third Wednesday of the month, and they like talk about it, and they're like, okay guys, we're gonna go and we're gonna buy all the red breast. It's a big master plan.
But it is a lot of tastings going around though. You have different kind of, I mean, I have a lot of friends that do beer tastings, whiskey tastings, rum tastings. You have
absolutely
very few, but there is a couple that do like mezcal and tequila.
Yeah,
not
there's
many people, but
a smaller number.
Still around in general, doing. I think it's got maybe more now when you can't go to a bartender and like discuss it, or it's like, hey, I have a bottle of red breast. Let's meet up. Do it.
But that's true. I have heard of more like people coming in, and they're buying something, and you're just like, oh, like what's going on or whatever, and they're like, oh, just some friends getting together, they're gonna share this or share that, or because like we sell things by the CL, like we do the 10 centiliter 25 CL, and people will come in buy like 3 or 4, and they go and then they sit with friends and they try them all and stuff like this. So there has definitely been, I mean, like people are obviously still into spirits, right? Just because a bar is closed, that doesn't mean they don't drink. So
no, definitely not.
They're still going for it.
So you're quite busy at shopping, right?
Yeah, we're doing pretty okay. We're like one of the very few places to get hard spirits here. So it's especially in our little sector.
Yeah, because what you sell is not like in the general brands.
No, yeah. I mean, we just don't have a ton of space, and so if we also like we have like a lot of maybe more specialty type products, I guess. But then if you also added like all the more general stuff, then there would just be there'd be no space. You couldn't really walk into the door at that point. Just this little shop.
Yeah, I haven't been there, so I don't know how small it is, but what I can see, it's a good amount of different kinds of spirits still. I mean,
absolutely, there's
every shelf space has like 1 or 2 bottles that's from the same brand. It's still a lot of bottles.
Yeah, no, it's quite a few things. Absolutely, it was a little daunting at first, because you think about spirits, right? You're like, I'm a bartender, of course I can tell you what this spirit tastes like. And then you go into a shop, and then there's 50 bottles of whiskey, but there's also like 50 bottles of gin and 50 bottles of rum, and like there's more and more and more, and so, and then you quickly realize that nothing.
It's you try one gin and you think you tried them all, and then all of a sudden you have maybe strengths. You have different kinds of how they're like distilled and the herbs and no.
Absolutely. And then
I always assume I'm stupid when it comes to liquors, because it's healthier than to be cocky.
Yeah, Absolutely.
I've never fully learned ever.
No, of course. Well, there's new things popping up all the time, right? People are consistently making new versions of whiskey, or there's new brands popping up, or there's the whole freeform spirit category. So we're all still kind of learning. All right.
Like you read about the Japanese whiskey.
Oh yeah, with
Yeah, so they
with it's
changed.
the new law, right?
Yeah, exactly. So it hasn't been updated since the 50s, basically. So that means
I love the time span. It's like, well, it's been since the 50s. Maybe we'll change it now.
but people have been pushing to have some kind of frame around the Japanese whiskey as
Yeah.
well. So now basically means that Nika from the barrel is not the Japanese.
Exactly. Yeah, I heard that.
I was like, okay.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to wrap my brain around it, because that means I need to change my language and how I talk about product as well.
Yeah, 100%. It's a constantly evolving place that we work in, the spirit world.
We're speaking to the spirits.
Yes. Yeah. No, so but like before I hopped on Zoom with you, over this past like week or so, I've been talking to a lot of your friends. Really helpful, really nice people, by the way. But like the very first thing they said, because I sent them a little text, like, hey man, like, can you tell me a little bit about Antonia? And like the very first thing is all caps, she's a unicorn. So I have a question. What is it like to be a unicorn? Where does this unicornness come from? Unicornness, yeah, unicornness. Where does it come from? Because you have such a unique style, and like especially whenever you walk outside in Denmark or Sweden, and everyone's dressed in like all blue or all green. It's very mono color.
I'm black today, by the way. But
yes, that's
I'm home,
okay.
so
Yeah.
I do have black clothes. But no, for me, it was. It actually started when I was trained as a junior bartender, because I always played around with color. I always had a thing for, have a little different color on my eyeshadow, or I can still do like a basic brown hair or whatever, but somewhere online I was like, I wanted to express more, because I felt there was no one around me that did it.
There you go.
I missed kind of seeing color, and I was like, okay. So instead of walking around thinking, oh, it's not enough color around, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna be color.
Yeah.
I'm gonna the whole range of color, and that I just started sneaking in like color, because
just here and there.
Yeah, because the first hotel I worked at, they were like, you need to keep beige, you need to keep plain. We don't want any extreme expressions, changing hair color or nothing.
Yeah.
So gradually it started a little bit there.
just sort of slowly up the mountaintop.
Yeah, because if someone tells me you're not supposed to do that, I kind of have to do that.
Yeah, I think everyone has that little inkling in their mind whenever you get told no, and you're like, oh, yes,
Exactly.
Immediately.
Like, oh, where's me? No, I want to. So I started a little bit there. Then I gradually changed into a full-blown unicorn. And when I started working at MJ's, it was actually welcomed with open arms.
There you go then.
Having the extreme pink fur with my extreme pink makeup was like, we want you here. You're awesome.
Absolutely.
You're perfect. And that made me also think, okay, so it doesn't have to be conservative. Just because you're working with high end, you can still do all the colors and the unicorn without taking away the seriousness, because I was still working in a really good bar, but they wanted a unique personality to give unique experience for the guests.
Of course.
It worked out.
Yeah, it definitely does. And I mean, and who doesn't love someone who expresses themselves, whether that makes you a character or if you express yourself through just wearing like the color blue, for example, you know, it doesn't really matter. But like anyone who is willing to really express themselves like that it's very cool. It was also the thing like in back in New York, whenever I was bartending there, that was a lot of the reason why someone was getting hired is like, oh, well, they're you know, they're a fucking character, you know, like, come on, of course, how can we not hire this person? Like it's fun to have these types of people behind the bar that are not afraid to be themselves.
But also in a way to, because I had this discussion before with friends of mine. Because for me, stepping into a bar has always been a scene.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're stepping in there, even if you are you're also making sure that you, as your character or your personality, also creates an atmosphere on the other side for the guests.
Yeah.
So when you come into the bar, what do you want to feel or experience? And if you can be a little glitter and a big smile and 5 different shades and making a rainbow, and that takes away a kind of the seriousness in what people feel maybe are stupid questions. And I say there are no stupid questions because you can never learn, you don't ask.
There you go.
And you know, you kind of dancing between the kindergarten teacher and the college teacher and try to balance that in a way.
Mm-hmm. That's a great way to describe it, like a kindergarten teacher versus a college teacher. I've never thought about it like that, but that makes so much sense, actually.
So what is a vermouth?
Yeah, yep.
Your immediate level. Okay, so I need to step up.
But it's really cute whenever you get those questions. I like, you know, that means that someone's new to this, and that's so exciting, right? That's what we are all wanting, is for just everyone to be into the spirits, right? We want everyone to be into, you know, gin and rum. We want people to drink more, want people to appreciate it more. So it's great when you get those questions.
But also not being afraid to ask. And what I found with expressing myself with all the colors and doing my sunsets and my rainbows and my cloudy days. Yeah, I name my makeup style.
There you go.
Yeah.
As you should. It's important to you. Give it a name.
You can see me walking in as a storm. I still be glitter. You know, it's still gonna be glitter. But what I experienced with me expressing myself like that is, they have it's easier for them to ask me what I feel are too dumb or simple questions, because I'm like, ask away. It's what I'm here for.
You're approachable.
I'm approachable. You know, I'm the kindergarten teacher.
Oh man, I'm just to get off subject for a second. I don't know if I could ever be a kindergarten teacher, because I live next to like a Banahau, and those kids, they're insane. They go crazy. They freak out all the time. It's just nonstop. Like, I don't know, like something's happening, like some sort of weird thing is happening here. They have so much energy.
The high-pitched screams that echoes between the walls when they're doing their screaming contests or they're running after each other.
Yeah.
So, get me right. I love kids. Just not.
Kids are fantastic.
Like close friends. my family. The rest can be in a.
I think it's just when they get all grouped together, it's just so they're so excited, right? They're like, oh my God, everyone here is small like me. And they just freak out. They just, just go nuts.
I remember how I was as a kid. I remember how I was as a kid.
I was such a bad
I was
kid.
testing people. I was obnoxious. I do know I was. I'm not under any kind of delusion. That was my
No?
mom. My mom, she used to joke that, okay, so letting me loose was basically, she had no idea if I would burn myself with acids, burn myself, or set myself on fire, because I was dangerous. She could turn around. All of a sudden, I had my hand on the stove
Yeah.
because I just want to see if it was warm.
I mean,
Makes perfect sense.
That's fair. You have to know, right? I just like that, that's all an option, right? You could burn yourself with acids, or you could set yourself on fire, or you can put your hand on the stove. Quite a few options there.
Yeah, but I'm born in the 80s as well, so that was way before the view of the more strict parenting. I'm born in the early 80s, so yeah.
Sort of a fend for yourself type of thing, yeah.
It was more like shit happens, scrape it off. If you're good, you don't need a hospital. I'm gonna put some band-aid on you and you'll be fine. I keep checking up.
Band-aids and duct tape, they fix all wounds. Absolutely. If your arm falls off, you just tape it back on, man. You just, it'll heal in a little bit. It's fine,
Yeah, I got a lot of stories, Logan. We can take when we are getting together. Next time we see each other.
Next time. But until then, shall we move on to the next one?
Number 5.
Yes.
All right.
What is this one? Oh, that's right. This is the triple distilled Scotch from 1770. Yeah.
Nice.
This is really lovely. I'm a big fan of the triple distilled stuff. It's just so nice. It's like it has such a nice texture.
It really was.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, I just downed it.
Yeah.
Please feel free to sip. Do your thing.
Curious. I just want to start with actually tasting it.
Absolutely. I love it. I mean, for someone who doesn't drink a lot, you were crushing these.
But I'm half finished.
Yeah. Okay. Does that do Finnish people drink a lot? Okay.
Okay, so it's more.
I wasn't sure if it was like you just finished the shot, like because you're half Finnish. You just.
No, I'm half Finnish, and my dad, he's a northern Swede, and in Scandinavia, Finns are known to like the Russians to have a high tolerance for alcohol.
Like the Russians.
Yeah. Finn fights with alcohol and knives. That's
nice. Okay. Well, I mean,
same with the northern Swedes, because they talk this much, like they drink this much. It's the same, of course, but it's a little funny. Yeah.
That is funny. Actually, no. Now that you're saying this, there is one, or I mean, I'm sure there's a few, but there's one regular at Paloma that we see quite a lot, and he's Finnish, and yeah, he can put it away. He goes for it sometimes. Part of it's pretty impressive, once you get to a certain stage, you're like, my God, like this guy's still having a coherent conversation with me. He's crushing it.
But I mean, it depends how close to Russia they live as well, because if they can cross the border, a lot of the Finns, they do work on the Russian side, maybe not too much now with Putin's regime, but before it was quite open between the Finns and the Russians to do work or travel.
That's nice. That's honestly something that's so nice to me about Europe in general, kind of how you have this sort of borderless society. Because in the States we have that, like I could go and work in a different state, but it's still the same sort of culture-ish, and you know, of course it's the same language. But here it's very diverse, and even if you just go across a bridge to Sweden, you know, it's a completely different thing. It's really nice as a foreigner, like coming to Europe, and you're like, oh my gosh, you know, there's so many new things.
It's pretty amazing. I travel a little around Europe,
Mm-hmm.
but it's remarkable how much you can see, even though it is easy and it's close. It's only a couple hours away, and you have still a lot to see. So I would recommend like do odd trips like Riga
Yes.
or Tallinn, or it's cheap. It's a cheap travel,
Yeah, absolutely.
but you still have a whole different experience.
And that's the thing, like before all this fun stuff really kicked off last year, that's, I mean, that's kind of what we tried to do. We tried to like take these little like sort of weekend trips, you know, you just go for like 3-4 days somewhere, and but you're so close in proximity to all these other countries that it's so accessible, and it's actually feasible to just go for a few days to, I don't know, to Germany, for example, and you go and hang out, and you get to sort of breathe some fresh air, or breathe some different air, you know.
Speak a different language if you want.
Try to speak a different language.
Oh, yeah.
It's a very important distinction.
Deutsch.
I think I need to work on Danish before I try to tackle the other languages out there.
Yeah, but you know, selvfølgelig, so
True. Sifuli was a game changer. I'm going to be honest with you. That was, everyone thinks you're Danish if you know Sifuli. If you can just say, yeah, Sifuli, and then get through any Danish conversation ever. It's
the appreciation that you tried is kind of not.
Oh, but I mean, Danes are pretty sweet about it. You know, because even if I say a Danish thing very like perfectly, it's never the right accent, and so they know that I'm not Danish, but they're always really nice about it, and will either switch to English if I really don't understand, or try to maybe help me get to the sentence that I need.
Yeah, but that's kind of what you need, because it's hard to sit and read everything. Sometimes you need to. It's like making. It's like when starting making cocktails.
Mhm.
You do fail. You do fail at some stuff,
Yes.
and something to get wrong, and it's okay, you know, because everything new, you need to trip to get up. But when you get up, you're not going to trip on the same thing again.
Hopefully, yeah. That's the whole idea, right? Making mistakes is
If
fine.
you do, you're stupid.
I like it. I like it. You get one shot. So you make a mistake one time, it's fine. Twice, no, never.
I mean, you have to set the limits to the
Absolutely, absolutely. Otherwise, people are just failing left and right, you know.
Like I saw this girl, she had tattooed an L for her left, an R for her right, because she
Really?
never ever tell if left was left or right was right. So she tattooed L and R
That's
to distinguish
so funny.
hands and sides. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
part of me kind of thinks it's cool, because like that's really funny. That's so ridiculous that, but I mean, I guess you can kind of, I can almost see what she's saying though, because left and right, sometimes you do have to, especially whenever you're like trying to talk to someone else, right? And you're like, your left, you know, is here, or you're right, and you have to kind of figure it out. But if you have tattoos, then boom, you just, you know, this one's this one, that one's that one.
Yeah.
Easy peasy.
And every time you need to look at your hands before you give directions, you're like, left.
Yep. Just a little reminder.
Right.
I like it. People get creative with tattoos though. People like there's some really funny tattoos out there. Some really interesting ones.
Definitely.
Oh.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of misspelled ones as well. That
Yeah,
make
I mean, yeah. I have there's definitely some misspelled ones. I mean, but not all tattoos are fantastic, you know. Like, well, all tattoos are probably loved by someone, right? But they're
yeah.
maybe not all the highest quality. You know, I have a massive tiger on my leg, and it looks straight up like the tiger from Frosted Flakes. It
Ah,
looks
that
ridiculous.
that was the reason I was called Tony.
Yeah,
Yeah, the Frostiest tiger. That was the reason
really?
I started to be called Tony.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's funny.
yeah, because
Tony.
that was my breakfast. I was chewing sugar.
It's a solid cereal. It really is. It's a good one.
Tony the tiger. Tony the tiger.
Tony the Tiger.
Ask anyone in Sweden, they don't know.
Ask anyone in all of Sweden, they will all know that Antonia is secretly Tony the Tiger.
Tony and known as a tiger because
Cool.
I'm sweet, but I have a temper.
Because there's always limits, right? You always have to set limits.
Yeah. The super sweet Frosties
Yeah.
or the alive tiger.
Cool. Until you're a tiger.
Yeah.
I like it. So you're like a unicorn tiger mix. Oh, you're a unicorn with stripes. That's what it is, right? Okay.
Rainbow stripes.
Rainbow stripes. I dig this. This is cool. This is cool. Do you have a? Because do unicorns have powers, or are they just a horse with a horn, or can they do stuff?
Of course, we got powers.
Of course, they have powers,
They're
right?
magic. They're magic. It's
That's
no
what I
one
would think.
believes we exist, and still we're wandering around.
Well, I learned from Harry Potter that apparently the blood of unicorns can keep Voldemort alive. So that's something, right?
Yeah, but that's the war unicorns. They're different unicorns.
Yes, of course. I should never assume that you are one specific type of unicorn. I apologize.
The war unicorns is the dark side. It's a different kind of unicorn. So.
Different type of unicorn. Interesting. Oh, okay. Well, then I have to ask, what's your unicorn power?
I would say mind reader.
Mind reader. Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, no.
That's a great one. Okay. But with that, could that translate to if you just come on shift and then you don't talk to anyone, you just start serving them the drink they were thinking of?
I would say my power lies in I'm really good at reading people, so that can translate in. I usually if I get a guest that doesn't know what they want, I usually ask what they usually have or what's your usual order, and from there, and they tell me, okay, but I really want to try something new. But if I get like the base, from there it's not too hard to, go to step 2, step 3, or whatever.
Absolutely.
Build from there. But also when I start talking about products or explaining them, it's fairly easy to read facial expressions. You always get a reaction.
Yes. Yeah.
If you mention mezcal to someone that usually drinks gin, they're gonna be.
That's true. Unless they're really open-minded, they will most likely make a face, for sure.
And really open-minded people, they're rare, but the really open-minded ones, they always do have a sense of what they would like tonight.
Yeah, I mean most.
And then we have those. I have no idea. Give me something good. And I'm like,
I would hope that it's all good.
A hamburger or a steak, sir.
Just something good, something nice.
Between the buns, a straight up medium rare.
You could do like a combo, where he gets the steak, but then he has the option of the burger patty on the side, right? There you go.
Steak burger.
That's what it is. That's the answer to all the problems. Boom, steak burger. I don't know.
No,
Shall we go to the
neither.
next shot?
Oh yeah, the last one, the number 6.
It is the last one.
Yeah.
You excited? I'm excited. This is like a really bit of a nice little what is it called? Little ending note. That's what it's called. Little Jamaican rum, some plantation haymaker.
So we start with rum and we end with rum. But I
Yeah,
love
it's
this one though.
I
I would
what?
have a mic tie on this.
Absolutely, right? This is super nice.
Or an old fashioned.
Yeah, just I don't
You
know.
would
Jamaican
fruit it
rum.
up or
You could
strip it off.
you could honestly put like Jamaican rum in the Frosted Flakes and it might be fantastic. Who knows?
Now we're talking.
Got to think about it, Tiger. Cheers.
The drunken breakfast.
The drunken breakfast. Cheers. Oh, yeah. Small amount of funk, just a little bit of.
Yeah.
But speaking of sort of drunken breakfasts and other trends and things like this, how do you feel about all like all the new trends kind of coming out, or not? And maybe trends is not the right word, but all the new stuff coming out right now. Like the bottle cocktail game has been crushing it lately. You know, there's been, especially in this climate, right? Everyone's really doing a lot of bottle cocktails, and they're fucking killer, a lot of them. And then the whole non-alcoholic cocktail thing, like we have rum that's not rum. You know, we have gin that's not gin now. We have all these different types of non-alcoholic options. And then there's also the whole vlog tender thing, you know, bartenders on a video. How do you feel about this? Are you enjoying like this sort of new trend thing? Because people are getting pretty creative out there.
Yeah, no, I watched a lot of videos. For me personally, nothing bad towards the creators. That's also the reason I haven't pushed my cooking to a video thing or YouTube, because for me, looking at pictures and shorts, like shortcut films, or as an inspiration. But for me, sitting at home, I miss the energy. You know.
Yeah.
What I feed from in a room, people, if I have guests or talking in front of people, whatever reason, it's the energy you get back, and you kind of feel the room, because you know when your music you set in the bar is off, you know when to change it.
Yeah, you definitely do.
That it needs a change, and you kind of get the vibe. Is it we want the higher volume kind of nights with upbeat music, or do we have like a classic jazz, smooth sailing, calm drinking?
Something like this, yeah.
You know, what I miss with all this video, Zoom, Google meetings things is it's so hard to read the energy.
Yeah, it's a little difficult. I mean, because you can, of course, you can like hear the inflection in someone's voice. You can kind of get their tone, but to really feel like an energy from someone is difficult over Zoom. Absolutely.
It's what makes the magic in the bar. It's partially the bartender, but also maybe the host or the hostess reading the crowd, making sure everyone got their kind of, you know, I miss the energy. I miss the energy from people.
Well, soon, right? Hopefully soon we will get back to it. But hey, now that you can come to Denmark, you know, maybe we could have like a, I don't know, have like a less than 5 person or only a 5 person max party, you know. We could do something.
Oh, could we? That
do
would
something
be
small.
I can make a bottle cocktail and drink with me. Let's do my Shit.
There we go.
Just
I mean, I've had your original cocktails before, and they are solid, my friend. Super nice. Absolutely. But yeah, Antonia, that's all we have for tonight. Thank you so much for being on the show. This was a lot of fun.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. But before we fully leave, is there anything that you want to say to the folks at home?
Stay strong. Stay creative. Keep up, because things are still happening, you know, as education goes.
Well, there you have it. Absolutely. Stay strong, keep it up, stay creative. We got this, babies. And tune in next time for the next episode of Let's Drink About It. Cheers, guys.